Hello, my name is Julia Mercedes Curlin Albergue, and I will be talking about dialects, which is part of the topic or study of social linguistics. Social linguistics is the study of how society changes the way a language is spoken. It is the sociological aspect of a language. Sociologists separate the different features of a language in a particular situation among social relationships. It is the study on how society changes the way a language is spoken. Social linguistics studies dialects of a language. Dialects emerge as languages evolve, expand, and disappear. Linguistic uses the word dialect to mean closely related varieties of a language. It is the most basic subcategorization of a language. You can make the comparison that language is the parent of the dialect. A dialect will have an overlap with the parent language. The overlap occurs in their phonology, morphology, and syntax. Dialects have variation in pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary that is being used. The difference between language and a dialect is that language is a form of human communication, which is either written or spoken, while a dialect is a particular form of a language that is characteristic of a social group in a specific region. Language is a broader group, while a dialect is derived from it. Dialects are considered subtypes of the same language. Dialects of a language can incite prestige or social prejudice in a society. They stereotype people in different areas of a country and or socioeconomic status. It is through these associations and stereotypes that dialects are classified either as regional or social. Regional dialects are associated with the geographic area in which the dialect is spoken. This type of dialect is disappearing due to media and interconnectivity. We are very much connected through the internet, and therefore people have access to listening and acquiring more from their geographic areas. Social dialects are associated with groups of people of the same demographic that share a common core and are classified as upper class, middle class, and lower class or working class. In dialects, grammatical difference cover the structure and the rules of the language. This occurs in the syntax and morphology. An example can be used of a double negative in an English dialect. Example, she didn't cook no cupcakes. Lexical differences in dialects come from the word adaptations and presentation of new words. An example of a word adaptation in the English language would be howdy. It is a word used instead of hello. Phonetic variations. An example of pronunciation in English would be the word man that can be pronounced in different dialects in different ways as man or man. There are several reasons why dialects are studied. There is the linguistic reason. The study provides a source for variation data in order to make dictionaries and linguistic atlases to provide valuable historic information of a language, forms of the language that are extinct, and also description of existing dialects and their characteristics. Linguistic atlases help study migration patterns and cultural history of linguistic forms. There is the curious aspect, why people study dialects. People feel curious about dialects when they encounter them in other people because it highlights the language diversity that exists. There is the anthropological reason that dialects are studied because they demonstrate the relationship between society, languages, and social beliefs. Countries all over the world have many different dialects depending on the size of the country. The largest countries in the world, such as China, has 8 official dialects. India has 22 different dialects. Russia has 3 main dialects. Just in the United States, there are 30 major dialects. One example would be the Hudson Valley dialect. This dialect is spoken in New York, which was originally a Dutch colony. Some words that make up the dialect are stoop, which means small porch, and crullers, which is the name they give to the donut, which was an original Dutch recipe. Both stoop and crullers would not be known by other people speaking the same language in the same country. It can be concluded that dialects are the product of linguistic change over periods of time with no clear boundaries, but with areas of diffusion between them. Depending on what a dialect person speaks, it causes an abstract impression of the person's status.